Donald Trump is once again in a New York City courtroom today as part of his civil fraud trial. While Trump is not testifying right now, he is set to be called as the final witness for the defense on Monday. Prosecutors accuse the former president, his adult sons, and his business of a decades-long fraud scheme that they say was centered around inflating the value of their company. Trump spoke with reporters at the courthouse during a break earlier today.
Businesses are watching this case. No business will move back into New York. No business will, frankly, stay in New York. A lot of businesses are talking about leaving New York because of this action. This is a very serious action.
CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates has been following all of this. He joins us now from outside the courthouse. Graham, the defense is calling its final expert witness today as the trial nears its end. What have we learned about the defense and the prosecution and the strategies?
Sure, this expert is an NYU professor of accounting, and his testimony so far has largely reinforced Donald Trump's own testimony from November 6th, saying that the statements that are at the center of this fraud case were supposed to be used at the bank's discretion. They were supposed to do their own analysis, not rely on them specifically, and reinforcing that there were disclaimers warning banks against just kind of taking point blank the information that Trump and his company provided to them. And this is kind of key to the whole argument that they weren't committing fraud, that they were doing their best to, when they're applying for loans, to provide the information they had. And if they made mistakes, it was the accountant's fault.
And you were there in court, Graham, as you so often are. What did you observe today?
This was kind of a big difference from normally when Trump is in the courtroom. The room is only about a third full. There's just not a lot of members of the public there. His son, Eric Trump, is there watching. Eric Trump has been there many of the days that Donald Trump has been in the room with him. What was interesting, though, about Eric being there was that he was actually scheduled to testify yesterday for the second time in this trial. And late on Tuesday, his team, the defense team canceled him. It didn't really give a reason why. Trump then later posted on his social network, "I told Eric not to testify." I don't know if that's true or not, or if the legal team made a different kind of analysis and decided we don't need Eric's testimony. But here he was today when we were actually expecting him there yesterday.
And Trump is appearing Monday as a final witness for the defense. What are you expecting to hear?
You know, the best way to think about this is what we saw from Donald Trump Jr. when he appeared for the second time. That was where the defense kind of gave this presentation about the greatness of the Trump organization as a company. And Donald Trump Jr. kind of walked through many different properties and explained why they're maybe worth as much as the Trump organization has said they're worth. The defense hasn't said exactly what Trump is going to testify to, but we've seen with his own son what they use their own defendants to do with their presentation, which is to say, we believe that these properties are worth more than even the AG said we lied about, because that's what they really are. So we weren't purposely misleading anyone. We were purposely kind of saying what we think is true.
All right, Graham Cates, thank you.